The less you hold tight, the more things go right. The less you hold tight, the more things go right. And surrender. Surrender is so powerful. When you actually let go of something having to be a certain way or needing to turn out a certain way. I'm about to give a story time about what happened to me this week with my vehicle. And I'm going to give an example, and I want to give a testimony about how the less you hold on to things, the less you hold on to how something must turn out, how something needs to turn out, how something has to turn out, like the less that you're like, I need it to go this way, it's gotta go this way. Like the less that you can do that, the more that you can say, regardless of how it unfolds, it's gonna be fine. Regardless of how it unfolds, it's gonna be fine. So to give a story time to kind of back this up, last week I was in a fender bender, okay, with my van. And, it was something that happened, life happens. Sometimes it was unexpected. It was something that was kind of an inconvenience. And you know what? I said, it's going to be fine. It's going to be okay. So I learned that I was going to need to, of course, have my vehicle be gone for a while to get repaired. And initially I was told the process was going to maybe take 2 weeks. And I was thinking to myself, I don't need my car to be gone for 2 weeks. I would prefer it not, but guess what? Even if it is, it's still going to be okay. So allowing ourselves to really hear news from people or hear information about timelines or answers or responses and not get in a tizzy about it, not like try to force and make it happen. But being curious about, oh, that's interesting. Maybe there's a different outcome that's possible. So they told me my car was going to take 2 weeks to get fixed. And I was like, oh yeah, I doubt it. Like in my mind, I'm like, yeah, I doubt it. Like things don't take that long for me. Like everything always works out perfectly for me. And this happens to be the week I co-parent. So this happens to be the week that I don't have my children, which was perfect because I didn't really need my car to do the daycare thing or the school thing or the activities, taekwondo, all that stuff. And so what wound up happening as a result of this, now the seed was already there that I wanted to start riding my bike anyways. But because my vehicle was gone, it was like, nigga, if you want to go somewhere, you better get on that bike. So many amazing things happen. I found out that there is a Greenway Trail literally like a half a mile from my house. It's like an enchanted forest that literally goes 38 miles up and down my city. So I discovered this place. Now, would I have discovered it anyways? Probably, because it was something that I wanted to do. But did the opportunity present itself before because I had no other way to get around? Absolutely. So on top of that, like, as they told me it was going to take 2 weeks for my car, I was like, okay, whatever. Let me just, be proactive. So I reached out to the adjuster. They weren't kind of responding to me. They're kind of pushing me off. So I called. And I was like, hey, I'm trying to get in touch with the adjuster just to see when he's going to have a chance to look at the car, because I know that was the first step in the process. And they're like, oh, he's going to come on Tuesday. And I was like, okay, well, do you have his contact information? Like, he's going to come on Tuesday. Yeah, I hear you, but I want to talk to him myself. So I just, in good faith was like, hey, my name's Megan. I just wanted to introduce myself. I know that we're going to have to go through this process together, blah, blah, blah. I was kind to him. I wanted to connect with him. And and he was like, oh yeah, he was like, actually, I'm right around the corner at the Honda dealership. Like, if you're home now, like I can come by and look at it now. This was Monday. So in being proactive and not just listening to, oh, it's going to take 2 weeks and just like sitting there and waiting for the 2-week process to play out, actually being open to the possibility that there's another option. I reach out to the guy. He says he can do it on Monday versus Tuesday. Tuesday, they come and pick me up, they get my car, they come and drop me back off. And I didn't push it. Okay, so here's the part about letting go and surrendering and allowing things to be. I made the intention to myself, to God, to the universe. I need my car back by Friday. I need it back by Friday. Now, when the guy gave me a ride home, I was like, I kind of put the seed, I planted the seed. I was like, oh, I was like, I get my children back next week. So it would be amazing if I would be able to have the car back by then. But I know you guys got to go through your stuff. And, he was like, yeah, we'll see. Like, he didn't make any promises, of course, because they can't. So he told me he was going to call me and give me a status update. He didn't call me. I didn't call him. I let another day go by. I reached out. I said, hey, it's Megan. I was just calling to see how everything was going. And he's like, yeah, things look good. Da, 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 da. There may be a chance it could be done by Friday. And I was like, oh, that would be perfect. Like, that would be amazing. Let it go. Okay. Didn't keep calling him. I needed to be Friday. Plant the seed, water it, let it go. Okay. When we plant a seed in a garden, we put it in there. We give it the right conditions. Right? Which is not stress and anxiety and, oh my God, I need this to happen. I'm going to keep digging it up. Is it growing yet? Is it sprouting yet? Is it germinating yet? Is it happening yet? No, I planted the seed. I need my car by Friday, the end. So he calls me yesterday and he's like, the way everything's going, it looks like everything's going to be good by Friday. Long story short, my car is ready. I have my car back, even though I was told it was going to be 2 weeks. Now, did that day make a difference? The Monday to Tuesday? Probably. Maybe. I'll never know. But what I do know is that I made an intention and I didn't stress out about it. I didn't, freak out and try to stress other people out about it. I trusted that what was for me was for me. And even if it wasn't Friday, it was still going to be okay. I will figure it out for next week. I'll rent a car, whatever I need to do, I'll figure it out. But I just want to share this because when we release the need for a thing to turn out a certain way and we just kind of are okay either way, that allows it to come to us a lot faster. Okay. And also, like, now I don't even want to drive I'm literally about to get out of my car, go get on my bike and ride back to my homegirl's house because I love being on this bike. Like, my body is changing, my mood, I feel good, like, y'all. So I just want to share this quick story to say that when negative things happen in your life, good, I'm so glad. When negative things happen in your life, be open to what it's leading you to. Maybe there's something else that's going to happen after this that is going to open my eyes to a new possibility, to a new activity, to a new connection, to a new relationship. Like, yes, God. Yes, I could see that your ethos, especially if you're a vocal alchemist. Yes, God. So I am, these type of examples I've learned, right? Because there was a point in time where I would have stressed out about it. I would have been talking about it all week. Oh my God, my car. I didn't talk about it all week. Why? Because I've already made the intention. It's done. That's it. It's done. And again, even if it's not done on Friday, according to my time frames, it's still going to be okay regardless. And so, this is what my work is about, is really teaching people how energy works. Energy responds to neutrality. If you want, the neutral point is the peak point for manifestation. Do you fancy an impromptu IG live with me? I could request to join. I actually have to run in just a second. I would love to do that, but I am on a time constraint right now. But that is a really good idea, and I would love to do that. Actually, what time is it? Let me just make sure. Hold on, y'all. You know what? We'll do it for 5 minutes. I'll let you. I don't want to say I'll let you. I would love to connect to you for 5 minutes. But just before that, I just want to say that, in the Success Sanctuary, we're learning about energy. We're learning about how to respond, how to regulate our nervous system, how to navigate life. When lifes and things happen, we think that, there's a saying that people say sometimes, like, oh, when it rains, it pours. Not necessarily. Sometimes when it rains, it's watering something that you don't even know is planted. I am on like this whole forest fairy journey now because I've realized this forest was behind my house because I had to ride my bike because I didn't have my car. So it was kind of like a domino effect. So, being able to be in a situation, have life, be triggered, and then change your nervous system and change your expectations completely changes your outcome. And this is why we have the ability to create, okay? Not letting the circumstance tell us how to feel, but choosing and deciding and creating, this is how I'm going to feel in this because it's going to be okay regardless. We open ourselves up to infinite possibilities. Okay, I'm going to go live with Charlene, the vocal alchemist. Let's see. Oh, I thought I accepted. Okay, go live. Let's see. I'm accepting your thing. And for some reason, it's not, I don't see you popping up. Maybe you want to try it again? She was a fairy. Yeah. Yeah, she was a fairy. That's my song now because I'm literally a fairy. I'm a woods, like anybody that knows me for real, I be outside, literally. And I'm not talking about outside at the club, outside at the this and that. I'm talking about outside in the woods, on the trails, like near the water, near the trees. Give me the real outside. Like, let's go play outside for real. Okay, I keep accepting it, and for some reason, like I've accepted it like 5 times now, Charlene. I don't know why it's here. I'm gonna go out and come right back, and let's try it. Oh wait, there you go. Yay! Yes, God. Hey, girl.
How's it going?
It's going amazing. How are you?
I am wonderful. It's so lovely to be on there. Thank you for taking a chance. You don't know me. I am so appreciative.
Absolutely. Yeah, when things like this happen, because something was telling me like, go ahead and just go live real quick. So I just go with the flow. When the signs come, I'm like, okay, you know what? Maybe we can, yeah, who knows? Like I'm always open to new connections and like, yes, God.
Mm-hmm.
You
I followed you around 2 weeks ago because I wasn't finding many people speaking about this. And there's something about going through something or experiencing something privately and then seeing that mirrored on the socials and you're like, oh, follow. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And there is something about just surrendering attachment to outcomes that makes everything so much lighter. And what I have noticed actually as I'm on my own surrender journey is this availability that I have for God's voice. Even the tiny, tiny, tiny little nudges, I can hear them now because my mind is not full of so many things to do.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah. It's it's so powerful and it's so counterintuitive, right? Because we're taught that action equals result.
Right.
If I do this thing, then this will be the result. If I do this thing, then this will happen. If I do this, and this will happen. And, I relate it to, children, right? Children are not worried about a result. Children are just being, and they're just drawn to what is making me happy right now in this moment. Is it making me happy to play? I'm going to play. Is it making me happy to eat? I want to eat. Is it making me happy? Like they don't have all these restrictions yet about these rules about what to do, when to do it, how much to do it, how much not to do it, where are we supposed to go, how we like who, what, where, when, and whying us to death is something that I talk about a lot. Like, and we're literally taught that in school. Like when we're taught to write about essays, it's like always answer who, what, where, when, and why. Like we're taught to think in this way of really understanding everything. And it's like, some things are not to be understood. Some things are just to be trusted.
Yes. And there's something about that ongoing narrative of who, what, when, why, and how that masquerades as common sense and responsibility.
Yes.
When actually it gets in the way of magic.
Exactly.
Because what I have found is you will know what you need to know when you need to know
And
it.
not a moment sooner.
Listen, and there's something so beautiful about being empty-minded.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
these days, I jokingly refer to myself as a spiritual airhead
Mm-hmm.
because my
Yes.
mind is empty and it's beautiful.
Mhm.
Ooh,
It's so
the
much.
ways I used to overthink.
Yeah. It's there's so much peace because we have been mistakenly taught that the experiences that we have equate to our identity.
Yes.
And it's not true. Like, especially, and it's hard, right? Especially if the experiences that we had have been very painful or very traumatic or very hard or very like, you know, um, jolting. And so
Mhm.
it's tempting to, take those thoughts and that recall of all of our experiences and actually adopt it as an identity, when in reality the power is found in allowing those to be a separate entity from us. Like, that is not, my experiences are not who I've been. And
Yes.
this is why, deep breathing, like I hesitate to even use the word meditation because I feel like it has a stigma with it. And people are like, oh, meditation. It's like people think meditation is about clearing the mind. And eventually, I think it gets there. But initially, what it's about is training yourself not to pay attention to those thoughts and to only pay
Yeah.
attention to the inhale and the exhale. Like,
Yeah.
that's the first step. It's not about like, oh, I'm clearing my mind. It's like your mind is going to be, your mind is never going to be truly clear. We don't want our mind to be clear because then that would take away our human experience. Like, we want our logic, we need our ration, we need our sense of humor, we need our experiences to inform us, but we don't need to prioritize them as the identity.
Mm.
We need to let the heart be the identity, the divine source be the identity, and then we allow the divine source to tell the mind, this is what I need you to go execute, not the mind telling the heart, this is who you are,
Yeah.
and that's a subtle difference. And so just dropping into that deep breathing and really allowing yourself permission, not even to ignore your thoughts, but just to sit back and watch them
Yeah.
without reacting to them.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's interesting. You're trying to tell me that I'm not this or that yet because I haven't done this or that yet. Like, that's an interesting point of view. Wow.
Mhm.
Inhale, exhale. Like, go
Mhm.
always going back and like being like, oh, that's nice. Like, you can have a conversation with me. That's okay. Like, I'm not going to shut you out. I'm not going to try and smoke a joint so I don't have to hear you. I'm not
Right.
going to try and get drunk so I don't have to hear you. I'm not going to do all these things so I don't have to hear you. I'm going to hear you, but my power is held in being able to hear you, but not be affected by you. And
Yes.
so we can, understand that our mind is a tool that should be in subservience to our heart
Yes.
and not our heart being subservience to our mind and
Yes.
feeling a certain way because of the thoughts. No, you don't get to make me feel this way.
Yeah.
I know who I am. I am a divine extension of God, the end, expressing itself as a human being.
Mhm.
And so, as that, I'm going to let that divine source come in and lead me through those nudges, through that intuition, through those signs, through those, you know what I mean? But also, we do need to experience this journey of life to, to inform us, and really, I think, to remember that there's suffering if you don't allow your heart to be your main identity.
Yeah.
Like, I think that is kind of like the point. And I don't know, because I'm a human being, but like I feel like most people find that divinity within themselves as a result of extreme suffering, as a result of life makes you just surrender because you're in so much pain. You're like,
Right. Right.
I give
Yeah.
up. Like, I can't do it. I can't control it. I don't know. Like, I don't have the answers. I don't know what the plan is. Fuck it. I'm not like just.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like you have to kind
Yeah.
of get to that point sometimes. And we have a choice of, do we want shit to get really, really bad, or do we want to make a conscious decision now? You know what? I'm going to surrender right now. I'm not going to wait until the shit really hits the fan. I've been
Mhm.
there and I've done that. And I'm going to trust. And I
Mhm.
think what happens is the more that you surrender and allow yourself to trust, the more confidence you gain in that trusting, because you see the way that the universe and God just arranges everything that you could have never, like, there's no way that you could have ever orchestrated things to align the way they did when you just let go.
Yeah. And you've spoken about meditation so beautifully. And one thing that really supported me to let go,
Mhm.
whew, I remember dropping, you're meditating and then you drop into meditation.
Yeah.
And I was in meditation and
Mhm.
I felt, I saw, I could feel
Mhm.
divine intelligence.
Yes, God.
It was like uh, this gigantic block of energy,
Mhm. Mhm.
stronger than a brick wall.
Mhm.
And I knew that this divine intelligence loved me.
Mhm.
And I knew that this divine intelligence supported me.
Yes,
And
God.
it wasn't a theory.
Mm-mm. No.
It was it wasn't God loves all of his children. It was God loves
Mhm.
me. That was when I was like, oh, I see. It's safe to let go.
Mhm.
It's
Yes.
safe to let go.
Mhm.
And ever since then, I'm telling you, you're talking about meditation and observing your thoughts. My meditations have been like the most riveting movie, chair. And I turn up with popcorn, honey, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm about to see, but I know it's gonna be good.
God.
You know,
Exactly.
and
Exactly.
I see things and I know things and I hear things. And every time I go to a space where I constrict, because surrender is not a one and done. You do it every day.
Girl.
And every time I
7
find myself
times a
wanting
day.
to, right, every time I find myself wanting to constrict because an old trigger shows up or whatever,
Mhm.
I'm so grateful that I have been doing it long enough to know that that constriction is not me. And so I'm like, I don't feel like myself. Oh, that's why. And I'm just telling you, man, I am on the river of God in
Mhm.
a paddle boat with no oars. And I am like, just take me wherever you want to go.
Lazy River, I call it.
And yeah, that's it. I'm down with it. And let's go.
That's it. And
Even if
it's,
I crash,
yeah,
I'll still be fine.
it's going to be okay either way. And I talk about that. You know, we want to whitewater raft our way through life and like go through all this stuff versus, I call it the flow state of just, you know what, I'm just going to lay back and I'm going to follow my joy and I'm going to follow my heart and I'm going to listen to my intuition and
Mhm.
I'm going to see what turns up. And never have I ever been disappointed in doing that. The
Right.
disappointment has come when I try to control the outcome, when I try to who,
Yes.
what, where, when, and why. Like, I need to know the who, what, where, when, and why before I take a step. Like, no, that's not how faith works.
No, it doesn't.
That's not how
And
faith works.
talking about faith, um, I used to try to have faith in an outcome. This is how sneaky it can be.
Mm-hmm.
This kind of self-sabotage thing masquerading as faith, and you're
Yeah.
just like, this is still control. So I
Mm-hmm.
used to try and have faith in an outcome until I
Mm-hmm.
realized that I was still just trying to control. And now
Yes. Yep.
I point my faith towards love.
That's it. That's all I want
That's
to do.
it. I
Yeah.
know that I am loved. I know that I'm safe. I know that I am supported. Woo! And it gives me the chills just even repeating those things out loud because now I'm light enough to take the actions that I need to take. And now I have so much lightness that I am courageous and I give even less of a fuck than I did before.
Yeah.
And now I'm like not intimidated by anything or anyone, and I just move with,
Girl, it's amazing.
it's wonderful.
So amazing. And yeah, like, you know, I studied energy for many years and, you know, the way that energy flows. And I mentioned like that neutral point, right? The neutral point of, because there's a book called Transurfing Reality, right? And it talks about these pendulums in life and like whether you really, really want something or you're really, really against something, like you're really for it or you're really against. And like, either way, wherever you are on that pendulum, you're still not in control, right?
Mm,
But when you can be in that middle point of, I don't give a fuck either way,
yeah.
that is the true point of control. And like you said, like faith can be so insidious because it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna have faith that this is gonna happen. Like, no, true faith is, I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know when it's gonna happen. I don't know where it's gonna happen. I don't know who it's gonna happen. I don't know anything about anything. And I still know that I'm gonna be okay. So it's like reverse engineering the who, what, where, when, and why. I don't know who, I don't know what, I don't know where, I don't know when, and I don't know why.
Oh, how delicious is that freedom, though?
Oh,
Because we don't realize how much space that takes up in the brain. That
mhm,
even when you're sleeping,
mhm.
who, what, when, why,
Yeah.
who, what, when, why, who, what, when, why.
Mhm.
I
Exactly.
cannot tell you the pockets of brain space that are
Mhm.
now available for the divine whispers. And I'm telling you, I'm making entire business decisions on these
That's what
whispers.
you got to.
Yes.
That's
And
what
I
you got
know
to do.
it. I'm just like, oh, I would never have felt that before because
Girl.
my brain was full of who, what, why who, you know?
Mhm. Mhm. And even like I've talked about before, like, you know, yes, there is certain preparation that we have to make for what our intention is, right? At least the direction of our intention. But
Mhm.
like it's a balance, you know, and I think that preparation is important, but the intuition always trumps the action because the intuition can collapse the time, right? So like
Oh, yes, yes. I'm with you now.
when you listen to the intuition, right, it won't, sometimes it won't make sense to the mind. The mind is like, what,
Right.
why would I do that? That's stupid. Like we've already been doing this thing for 5 years. Like why would
Yeah.
I switch and do that now? You know what I mean? Not understanding that the time collapse is in listening to the heart over the mind. And
Yeah.
it's not that we don't need the mind. Again, we need that mind, but what I talk about in my coaching container and in my community is that the inner authority has to be switched because the mind is like the manager of the company and the heart is like the CEO. So we have the manager trying to tell the CEO what the vision is for the company, and it doesn't work like that. Like,
Right.
let the CEO have the vision, listen
Mhm.
to what the CEO's direction are, and then the manager goes and executes, you know? So really being, like you said, when you can let go of the who, what, where, when, and why, you clear so much space and so much capacity for the action that you do take, for the who, what, where, when, and why that you do decide on, to actually be in alignment with what it is that God has planned for you, because God's
Yeah.
plan is so much bigger than our
Oh,
imagination.
so much bigger. Can I also say that when you do it, and this is for, I'm speaking for myself and anyone that's listening, um, when you start doing this, you are going to feel absolutely ridiculous.
And scared.
Is going to feel like irresponsible and stupid. And why would I do that? Just like you were mentioning. And this is silly. I need more of a plan. And I am telling you, this is where God's magic lives. God's magic lives here.
Mhm, mhm.
And
Yep.
I And you're right. You know, it did take certain things in my life to kind of fall apart, to be honest.
Yeah.
For me to
We need to
say,
stand up against that wall. Yeah,
yeah, for me to say, yeah, I don't want to do it like this.
exactly. Exactly. And you know what was so powerful for me was actually tying back in scripture, you know, because I went to divinity school in my early 20s and I thought I was going to be, you know, an evangelist or, you know, and I looked
Interesting.
at Christianity from a very traditional kind of like literal thing, and now circling back around and looking at it from a consciousness standpoint and like taking the scripture and understanding that these are all about states of consciousness, all of these characters, all of these people, all of these perspective. And it literally tells us in the Bible, like God favors, right? Children and fools. Why? Because
Mm,
they don't
mm.
care. They don't care about the who, what, where's, and whys.
Yeah, yeah,
They just trust that it's going to be okay no matter
yeah.
what.
Whew.
So,
Ma'am, I
yes,
need to
God.
get I need to get in your spaces
Yeah.
because I love rubbing energetic and online
Yeah.
shoulders with this type of energy, you know, because it's so different to what most people do, and it can feel like you're on your own, but you're not. And
Mhm,
so I am so grateful. And
mhm,
whenever Instagram tries to kick your content out of my feed, I go and find you. I'm just letting you know. Because I'm like, no! Because it's so important to me to see that surrender journey reflected back to me.
mhm, mhm,
Because
mhm.
there are extraordinary things that are happening with me that I've not even told anyone.
Mhm, mhm,
And this chat with you is just a tiny snippet of the things that I have shared.
mhm, mhm.
The tiny beginning of the snippet of things that I'm going to share. So I'm really, really
Yeah,
grateful for you taking the time. I know you have to go.
yeah, I do. But I do want to say, like, thank you for having the courage, right? Because sometimes we're like, oh, I don't want to, you know what I mean? And I appreciate you speaking up, right? And saying, like, hey, can I join you for a minute? And I think I remember your name. I think we messaged a couple
Yes,
weeks ago. And
that's
that's the
right.
only
Mhm.
reason why I was like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm gonna go live with her because I know like she's not a crazy
Yeah.
person. Because there's some crazy people on the internet, y'all. But like also I want to say like I'm so glad for everybody who tuned into this conversation. Thank you so much for spending a moment of your time with us here today. As far as like content, so for your favorite creators, um like on any of our reels, the three little buttons up top, you can hit those and then select favorite, and then
Okay.
supposedly Instagram will keep us in your algorithm and keep us in your feed. Also just want to share, like, I decided, my intuition guided me, instead of doing the 6 week intensive, I've decided to just open it up as a community. So if you'd like to, you know, spend more like intimate time in this space with me in this energy, you can feel free to like become a part of the Success Sanctuary. We're going to be doing live weekly Zoom calls, and we have our own community where we can like post every day, do our accountability, talk about our experiences, like, because it is important to hold this space and hold this vibration, because you're right, like, not everybody is here, you know, and my goal is to spread awareness and, you know, maybe pull on the people who may be being nudged but might not necessarily like have be able to put all the pieces together. But I'm not here to convince or persuade. I'm just here to share my truth,
Hmm.
and I'm not really attached to the outcomes because I know that God has plans for me, and I am just every day awaiting, and like you said, every day surrendering my type A personality need to have a plan, have a strategy, have a routine, have a, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, yes.
Like so I am, you know, unlearning that, you know, and not saying structure isn't important, because it is, but it's more so about the intention versus the rigidness. You know what I mean? Like, it is my intention to do these things every day. Now, maybe it'll happen in the morning. Maybe it'll happen in the night. Maybe somebody else will do it and I don't have to do anything. You know what I mean? But like just setting the intention is so important because it gives the energy of I'm not attached to who, what, where, when, and why it happens. If my intention is to make $5,000 today, then that's my intention. Who knows how that's going to happen? Maybe I sign a private client. Maybe I get a brand deal. Maybe I get like maybe something that I've never even thought of pops up in my inbox. Like, you know what I mean? Like being open to this is my intention. Now, will I be okay with or without the $5,000? Absolutely. But it's still my intention. So it's important for us to still steer the raft on lazy river, but not feel like, oh, I gotta row over here because it's like, no, just tell God, like, ask God, show me how good it can get.
Mm-hmm.
Show me how my intention can, you know what I mean? Like, instead of like thinking God is our personal waiter, like, well, I'll have this today and that and that, and can you make sure you put lemon in my water? Like, no.
And get
I want to be, yeah, I want to be full. I want to be satiated. I want to feel light on my feet. I want to be able to have, have great energy after I have this meal. God, surprise me. I'm waiting to see, like, you know what I
that's
mean?
so cool. And get this, I joined your live stream because I had a Zoom call that was a no-show.
Mm-hmm. See how
And
that
I
works?
opened up Instagram and there you were. And I was like,
Girl, when I
would
tell you,
you allow me?
I'm telling you, like, I didn't even plan to go live today. Like, I have a lot of stuff going on today. And I I wanted to make a video just sharing the story about how, I let go of the outcome with my van and here I am with my van because I was completely fine whether it happened or it didn't. And so I wanted to share that. And I was like, well, how can I make a video under 90 seconds? I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go live and then I'll just take some snippets out of the live. But it was like something was compelling me, like, no, you need to do the live now. No, do the live right now. Like, take the time now. Don't wait until you take a shower and put your makeup on and get dressed for the day. Like, do it now, And so that's kind of what I've been if you most of my content is me like either just rolling out of the bed or like you know what I mean just got done working out. Like I'm very active, I like to be outside, and I stopped allowing all of these rules about what makes content good and what's a good hook and what's a good and all these like rules about stuff. Like, no, when you feel it, when it's authentic, when you want to share it, share it. Yeah,
And
God.
that's all people want is to feel you. That's it. But anyway,
Yeah.
I'm not going to get into another conversation.
How are we joining the group? So if you check out the link in my bio, you can check out my link and then scroll down to where it says Success Sanctuary. Okay. Actually, I'm gonna tell y'all a secret. Like if you join now, so initially it was a 6-week intensive and the price was $333. I'm going to be making it a recurring membership, but anyone who is in the Success Intensive, I'm going to grandfather them over. So they're going to pay $333 for like lifetime access. So soon I am going to be switching it over because I got to do the back end and all that stuff. But I'm going to be switching it over to a recurring membership. It'll be $77 a month. But yeah, so that is how you join. And if you're interested, if you have questions, I would love to answer. My DMs are always open. And thank you so much, everyone who joined this today. And I'm so grateful for you. And I hope this has been valuable for you. I hope God has spoken to you through this conversation because God has spoken to me through this conversation. And yes, God. So thank y'all so much. I love you. Thank you for being here. And we will connect soon.
Thank you for trusting me. I'm not crazy. Have a great day. Take care.
Okay,
Bye.
bye-bye.
Bye.